Okay guys, welcome back for another exciting update. This one being much more exciting than past updates. First thing, when I open the tent, I have my Malabar spinach vine, and I swear yesterday it grew like 6 inches. Like, it is rapidly climbing, and it was over here going over the light, and then I opened the tent this morning and it's found its way around the leg of this table. It's really tasty. Very unique. I grew it last year on a trellis and it just tightly wrapped all the way up, so it'll just keep going and going. If you have a fence you can horizontally train it on. But so there you have it. We have fruits on the little tiny lemon drop. So, success. It's about 9 inches tall. As you can see, my lettuce is just doing fantastic. Growing super quick. The other ones are a little farther behind for whatever reason. Let's see, this one feels like purchased soil. This one feels like purchased soil. This one feels like my homemade mix. So, I guess that's really surprising. I thought the purchased soil would do much better, but I guess the amendments that I added really did the trick. So, and we've got the ground cherries back here that are, I need to harden them off and get them outside because they're looking excellent. It might be pushing it for them to produce before the end of the season, but then here I've got the purple, there were like those black tomatoes, and then the chocolate cherry, the 2 seed packets that I showed you. The flower flat is coming along. The zinnias are looking pretty cool. 4 o'clocks are just falling over. And the other ones in the back, you can't even see. They're just tiny yet. I can't remember what the name of those are, but yeah. And I did some clearing out on the table. Too many pots of herbs that I have a hard time using. So, I have a lot of space here. Put the strawberry plant up here. It's really bushing out and no flowers or anything yet, so yep. Alright, I hope it's not too windy out here for the mic. So, lots of fruits on this lemon drop. Tomato plant is just crazy. It's got a nice beefy stem on it, putting on a bunch of flowers. All the nasturtiums are looking great. Wonder how much bigger they're going to get as far as the leaf size. And this plant's taking a beating here. You can see how dirty it is. So, got these heavy-duty pots from a coworker that used to run a nursery, and he said he's got any size pot and I can have as many as I want. So these are very sturdy, about 3-gallon pots. So I put my habaneros in there. Thank you, construction trucks, for constantly driving by. But they've got some of these, I want to say these are the Melrose, which are like a red banana frying pepper. And they're putting on some fruit here. Got this, the orange snacking pepper that's got tons of buds on it finally. I put it in this bucket a while back and it surely has perked up. It's a very beefy plant. So, and then while I was visiting my folks, I went to a fleet store called Runnings that was down by where I used to live, and they always carried ghost peppers, scorpions, all sorts of cool varieties for being just a big fleet store chain. So I picked up this bird's eye chili, topped it, and it's putting out new growth. Got a ghost pepper and a 7-pot pepper and a candy cane pepper that I put in the garden, so I'll show you those when I go over there. This plant, the heatless habanero, still hasn't perked up fully per se. It's all damaged, but it just keeps growing. The flowers are opening, and looks like there'll be quite the harvest considering this plant is only about 9 inches tall, 6 inches tall maybe. So tons and tons of buds on here, if you can see all of them. Just crazy. Then of course I had to go to the nursery today just because I was getting kind of, you know, once you have the same plants for a while you kind of want new stuff. So took one of these 3-gallon pots, put some, got a huge cilantro plant, parsley and tarragon, and put it in here. So considering that my cilantro did terribly, so yep. So went and picked up some more flowers here, as if I didn't have enough. I found some of the orange variety of those gigantic yellow ones that I have, and I also got some more yellow ones. Picked up some cabbage plants. I don't know if they'll survive at this point, but it's worth a try. And I got a cantaloupe plant, so we're gonna do some work here. All right, we're down at the east end of the garden here. Just gonna make my way that way. Just got these cabbage plants in here, so you can see they're massive. So just got a 6-pack of those. Figured for, you know, a few bucks, be worth a shot. And I also got some orange bell peppers. And there were 5 in that pack. So everything seems to be doing pretty good. Lavender is starting to really put off some taller shoots and stuff. Hard to see, but it blends in so well with the soil there. It's crazy. These radishes are about ready. Let's see. They've done I mean, they're one of the earliest things, but they've done the best so far in the sandy soil. I kind of like having like vegetables and then like a row of flowers, vegetables. Can't remember what these kind of flowers are right here, but they ooh, there is one down here. Very cool. So turnips are there, and I pulled one up, and they're pretty small, but they're getting there. So here's my next row of radishes, right where the first row was. And then got more kale here that's coming up. So this kale, I can start picking this now. It's a nice size. Got some there, row here. The lettuce has taken forever. That should have been really fast growing, but it's just the sandy soil is taking its toll. But it's getting there now, so nice thick bushy row. So, and what else is new? Been taking all the suckers off these tomatoes and stuff. It's crazy how big some of them get when you just miss one and it gets to grow for an extra week. But got my broad beans down this row, and next to most of my tomato plants and whatnot. Then the sunflowers they're getting there. And all these white marigolds bloomed within the past week. And there's a whole row on the outside over there. So, the big yellow ones are still my favorite. Just gigantic and so much different than your standard marigolds like that, or at least that's what I think of when I think of a marigold. The orange ones over there are those multicolor, but I'm excited to see what the orange ones of these huge ones look like. So I got about 24 of those plants to get in the ground here. Uh-oh, looks like the deer are pushing their luck. Ooh yeah, gotta spray I guess. That doesn't make me very happy. Got a bunch down here with all the tops taken off. Oh, dang it. Gotta pay attention. Overspray. But been fertilizing and watering the corn a lot more, and it's really coming along. I was worried for a second, but this one is probably the best plant. Now it's July 1st, so knee-high by 4th of July, not gonna happen. Maybe if my son walks through here, then it'll be knee-high, but not even, so. Squash is looking good. These plants they're getting there. So. Now remember when I showed you guys the super bloom on here? When it was just a little tiny guy? You can see that there's a crazy amount of flowers and stuff that comes right off this huge stem here. And I don't know what it's called. I was asking my one coworker that owned the nursery about it, and he didn't know what it was called. And I thought this was the top of the plant at one point, but then it split off and kept going. And this plant it's just huge. So then we got a couple more big clusters up here. That's going to be a productive plant, I think. Thank you, Walmart, providing something of quality. Pretty rare. So there appears to be some damage in the beans as well, and it's hard to tell if you just walk by, but you got all these tops that are missing their leaves, and they're looking really good. These are the purple beans. As you can see, they've got the purple color to the stem, and I interplanted a couple more rows here, so looking good. So as you can see, next to this tomato plant there are two broad bean plants, and I do this to benefit the tomato plant, because after you cut this broad bean off, it's going to release all the nitrogen nodules from the root system and to be available to the surrounding plants. And what's better than doing it right at the base of your plants that are heavy feeders? I've got one there. Looks like I've got a couple around this tomato plant. Not every plant, but that one's got a little one next to it, and so just helps them grow a little bit better. So have some legumes next to your heavy feeders. And I was worried about these ground cherries, which they're not very big, so, and I don't think they're gonna get any taller. They just don't seem like it. But when I lift it up, the branches here, they do have a lot of ground cherries on there, but it just stinks that they're not growing up. So that's kind of unfortunate. And they said it was supposed to be like crazy hot today, like heat index of 100, something like that, and it looks like it's 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night with how dark it is, and it's not going to storm, but with the little breeze, it's really pleasant. It's still 80 degrees, but it sure doesn't feel like it working out here. Well, that's about it. Just finishing up here. So, got the compost over there. I don't know if I showed that yet, but working on getting it built up. So, yep, gonna head home and edit this video, and who knows what. Depends on if it rains.